Um, the last thing I really wanted to focus on was I think that with professions like personally for me, like sports or something, it's very
Mhm.
easy to notice when somebody is improving, right? From an outside perspective, I can see, oh, well, this guy scored 20 points and now he's scoring 30 points. Or, um, I think yeah, at least with statistics, it's easy to quantify if somebody is improving. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about how have you noticed yourself improving, as an editor over the years, and what has that process been like to what have you seen, something that you didn't used to do before, now you do, and did you notice that by yourself? Did somebody tell you? How have you felt like you've improved? Because you said you've been doing this 15 years. I'm sure you've learned many, many, many things about editing in that time. So, can you talk a little bit about that?
That's an interesting question because I would like to think that I've improved over the years.
Mm-hmm.
What I do, what things could be? Maybe I mean I have the confidence to get on board of a project because I know the process.
Mm.
I know I have a lot of respect for directors because documentary directors because there's so much time like they have put into this project that I have a lot of respect for that.
Mm.
So I think I know how to deal with directors in general. I have they give me a lot of creative um, freedom from the start. So that is something that I am very lucky, to have creative freedom. I mean, in the context of film editing,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have the possibility of propose some solutions for different things in the film. And so I think I've improved in experience of again I as you say I gained a lot of experience in those processes. I've developed also like systematization of my work, like how I tend to organize projects because you have a lot of footage,
Mm.
so you have to be very ordenado, muy ordenado,
Organized and
organized, yeah,
yeah.
with the footage. So um, I don't know. I tend to look for other projects that I worked, and I don't think that they are so bad. uh, so I don't think I have like a concrete uh, example of how
Mm-hmm.
I mean I don't know how to quantify it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But
Yeah,
yeah.
but I think people tend to trust in me
Mm.
as a film editor, so I have a lot of confidence in that way. But every project also is very different. So there are projects that are more complicated than others because some things are not even like finish the shooting.
Mm.
So I don't know. every project is different, you know. Every subject is different, so you have to work on it in a different mindset. But I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I would like that. I would like to think that I am more efficient now than also than
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, I think there's probably a balance of, the more information that you know, and probably if it were up to you, you would spend a really long time to make it sure everything is perfect, and no, move this 1 second or something like
Mhm.
that. But that's probably, I imagine, one of the most important skills is to be able to say, to have at least a general idea of what you want to do. Maybe have the arc. Having the arc helps with that. But trying to be efficient and saying, what is really important to be able to tell this story, and
Mhm.
what's the best way, that I can show this to reflect that. So.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm fast in that way. As I'm watching the raw footage,
Mm,
I can think, okay, I can put this with that.
mm,
I think you start to make links between images, and I like that also. That game, your mind starts to like making theoretical links between images, and I like that creative. I think it's part of the creative work that it's made in the documentary.
yeah, and I'm sure it's a job that is always making you think and think and think and think about
Yeah.
what does everything mean. So I like that. You know, in my job right now, I have to think and I always have questions, but I don't think it's at the same creative level as what you do. So the last thing I wanted to touch on was just if there's anyone who's ever thought about getting into film editing, or anything similar, what would be some recommendations that you would have for them? Some suggestions to do what you do, and to become better, learn more about what you do.
Mm. I think there's different approaches because I went to film school,
Mm-hmm.
and being in film school, you start to like think, for example, maybe with all the money I put in this thing, maybe I just could like buy a camera and a mic
Yeah.
and start to making films.
Yeah.
Is the approach Robert Rodriguez, the Robert Rodriguez approach.
Mm.
Robert Rodriguez is a Mexican director who works in Hollywood.
Okay.
He has his own studios. He made the Mariachi. I don't know if you know that film with
No.
Antonio Banderas. He has a very low budget approach, and
Okay.
just like rogue filmmaking, like
Mm.
just make things. And that could be an approach. Just make things and study by yourself. And with the rise of YouTube, there's also a lot of tutorials on how cameras work and
Mm-hmm.
how um, film editing software works. So the information it's out there, it's just to make you start to make your own films. But because I studied in film school, I have a lot of respect also for that kind of approach, because in my case, it gave me the opportunity to know people whom with I work still today, like
Mm-hmm.
15 years after we met. And you make interesting like teams. You can make teams and support each other. And well, I also have a taste for reading a lot of film on film,
Mm-hmm.
books on film, on from making of the production diaries, something like that, and more theory, film theory. I like also that more like academic
Okay.
side of cinema and documentary on how images work, how film editing works, interviews with film editors, all of that I think can help to form you as a filmmaker and as a film editor.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's no right or wrong way to get started other than, watch as much as possible, read as much as possible, experiment as much as possible. Um,
Just different things. Well, I don't even watch a lot of things
hmm,
today. I
yeah.
mean, I'm not into TV series so much like I was years ago.
Hmm.
But when I was studying in film school, I watched like 3 or 4 films a day.
Oh my
I
God.
was good to know. Yeah.
Well, you get to a certain point where you're like, you know what you want to do. You don't need to see somebody else make a movie to know what you want to do. But obviously, it's good in the beginning to see, different techniques and different ways that you can do something. But I'm sure you've seen so many movies that you know what you want to do already. You have it in your head.
Yeah. Also, I think it's important that not that teach film editing not only to people who are like interested in filmmaking, or YouTubers, but
Mm,
I think film editing is a very important of the visual language we use today. You can filmate or use the principles of film in like a TikTok video,
mm-hmm.
to put two images uh, side by side, and you are editing, and people. I think it's very important because there's a lot of manipulation in the visual world, like
Yeah.
in Facebook and Instagram, and they all make use of the theories behind film,
Mm,
and I think it would help if people knew how films, how images work, how what is the process behind making a video, because maybe people watch a video and they buy what's in the video, and the video is for other people is obviously a fake. So
mm.
you have to know what are the tools that are used when you make a video, and maybe there would be a lot less disinformation in
Yeah.
in in social platforms.
Yeah, with the deep fake thing and everything, it's
Yeah.
crazy what can be done in film now. So I guess it's, something that people don't think about, but it is something that's, even if you don't want to be a film editor, it's good to be informed about, to make sure that what you're looking at is real.
Uh-huh.
Um, but well, you have any last words for the people?
For the people, for the people in the world,
For
well,
all five
love each
people
other,
watching?
make love, not war. What else?
That's a good message.
Yeah, go green. Do your recycle, uh, and just love each other.
Do your taxes.
don't do your taxes.
All right.
don't don't eat shit.
Well, I want to thank you again for coming on. I thought it was very interesting, and I hope that the people who watch it, can learn more about a job that they might not always think about. So I appreciate that. Thanks for coming on, and yeah, it'd be I'm gonna have to go back and watch all your documentaries that you made. I'm gonna share them when I post the video. I'm gonna share some of the work that you've worked on.
Oh, okay. I could send you more so you
Okay.
can know things. But I just want to thank you, Patrick, for this opportunity. And I've never done this before, like an interview, a YouTube interview. So thank you, and thank you for being interested in what I do.
No problem. Now you have to edit it once we're finished. For free.
I hope we see each other again when we can travel again
For sure. For
in
sure. Yeah.
Florida or in Chile.
Thank you, Carlos.